Afternoon again, everybody. Michelle is here. Michelle is here with another episode of the pending extinction of the mediocre man. And I'll tell you, and I've been telling you why. Because as I've said, you cannot call yourself a biological man if you are not behaving and acting. And today is July the 26th, 2026 on a Sunday. The sun is out and baby, it is hot. It is hot out here. And I had the nerve to be trying to run around and do stuff and handle things. So I'm going to give you some more examples of the mediocre man. And remember, a hit dog will holler. If it doesn't relate to you, then what? And the reason why I'm giving out these series of videos is because the biological woman is being blamed for every adversity that's happening on this planet, which is illogical, irrational, and unreasonable, because without the biological woman, there would not be a planet. We will not have planet Earth. So, it's been time for someone to step up to the plate and share their concerns about the state of the planet. So many people have, but they have been silenced. I know I've been shadow banned. I've been suppressed. I know all of that happened, but I understand the resonance and the power of energy and thought. Okay? And if you don't understand that, don't be concerned about it, because that's part of being a developed human being in the true sense. Now, some more examples again of the mediocre man. I said that they have an issue with their role as a biological man. They seek constantly to compare themselves to biological women. Believe it or not, they want the same advantages or disadvantages or same benefits as the biological woman. Believe that or not. And that's illogical, irrational, and unreasonable. They want to be similar to a biological woman. They want to, again, blame biological women for the reason why they are castrating themselves in their development of their consciousness. They want to blame the woman for why they cannot get married. They want to blame the woman for why nobody wants to marry them. Now, I told you about the state of the biological man, whereas most of them are infertile. They are infertile, and they use the help, even though they may not tell you, of some type of fertility doctor or someone who specializes in the fertility field. A lot of them will go into these facilities for one reason, or they'll go into those facilities for, they'll claim that they're going in there for one reason, but it's a reason that they feel infertile. They cannot keep an erection, and so again, that's the biological woman's fault, why they can't keep an erection. So that's why many of them go in for these type of treatments, but they have no idea what's in these formulas to treat their so-called issues with keeping an erection. A lot of them, again, are infertile. So, and then they have issues with maintaining an erection. A lot of them will mix their sperms. They're infertile. They don't know that they're infertile, maybe, possibly, because the fertility doctor is making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of the biological male sperm. They don't tell these biological men that they're infertile. They'll tell them whatever it takes to get a sample of their sperm so that they can mix it in a dish and use their sperm as some type of experiment, for their Frankenstein's monster experiment on the biological man's sperm. The biological man is responsible for the mutation. A lot of the humans out there, I would go along and say they are responsible for the lack of development of the children that are being born on this planet, the lack of proper consciousness development. And of course, the woman plays the role as well. But again, we all know the fault of the biological woman. The biological woman is to blame for everything, right? That is what's been said for decades upon decades, as for as long as I can remember. Okay, blame the biological woman. The biological man has become so effeminate, so feminine, that he is more feminine than a man that will admit that he's a gay man. These so-called feminine men claim to be attracted to biological women, but that's not the case at all. What they're more so attracted to is their reflection. They are sexually turned on by looking at themselves in the mirror, and they see a distortion, but they see that they are a perfection of a genuine, bona fide biological man, but they are anything but. They're looking at the reflection and not realizing there's an illusion there. Again, the mediocre man is not behaving and acting as a genuine, bona fide biological male ought to. A biological male does not, I repeat, does not compete with a biological woman. That's illogical, irrational. Okay, the mediocre man competes with the biological woman. The mediocre man wants all of the positions that the biological woman has. The mediocre man only wants to hang around with other mediocre men. Okay, they don't want any women there unless they are objectifying them. They only want to hang around with other mediocre men so that they don't feel so inadequate, so that they don't feel so insubordinate, insignificant. What's the other word? Lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence. So they like to hang around with other mediocre men. So that makes them feel powerful. And they go around mediocre men talking about how big their penises are, but they don't tell the other men, which the other mediocre men possibly know that they're infertile, possibly, or they can barely hold an erection. Right? Again, the hit dog will holler. Do you agree that you are a mediocre man?